These attacks were unprecedented. We could not have imagined this scenario actually playing out.
Most airports and airlines in the region are affected.
Drone has hit a residential tower overnight in Dubai. It sparked a fire and residents were forced to evacuate the building.
This conflict has come to the doorstep of a territory that many perceived to be one of the world's top safe haven territories.
That perception was by design and helped attract both money and talent. The strikes threaten more than lives and infrastructure. They're testing Dubai's model of stability and the image it wants to project.
Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. We've already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough.
Thousands of deaths across the region have been reported in the war begun by the US and Israel. Iran's wave of retaliatory strikes targeted US allies, prompting the UAE to prioritize safety above all else.
Iranian strikes have hit airports, military bases, even data centers.
The UAE has seemingly defied what many assumed would be an existential threat. It's navigated peril before, but with war on its doorstep, can it do it again? Dubai is one of 7 emirates in the UAE. Even as instability has reshaped the surrounding region, the UAE has made itself extremely attractive to foreigners. The city of Dubai was one of 6 founding emirates in 1971, and since then it's transformed from this to this.
Dubai's population is mostly made up of expatriates. You're talking about 90%.
From the UK alone, we've had owners of Premier League sports teams, hedge fund founders, heirs to some of the world's biggest fortunes move to the UAE just in the past year alone.
You can have the beach, you can have the luxury hotel, and you don't have to pay tax.
This influx has led property prices to skyrocket in recent years, particularly in Dubai. Look at London, Hong Kong, Los Angeles, and New York. Now add Dubai, and you get the picture.
Dubai has really become a global financial center. They've made a really big effort to call everyone from the individual billionaires to the hedge funds, to the private equity firms, the Wall Street giants, you name it.
And there's a reason for this.
The UAE leadership is very keen to diversify away from oil.
Instead, it is focused on developing key industries, including tourism, finance, and trade. And so far, the strategy's worked. The income from oil in Dubai's economy is now negligible. And since 2022, the number of hedge funds in Dubai has nearly tripled. The UAE is also making big bets on AI, committing to invest more than $100 billion over the next few years.
The UAE has seen massive investments from the likes of Amazon and Microsoft.
It is in fact a region-wide venture, with over 200 data centers already built or in development. But these have become targets.
AWS warning of prolonged disruptions to its services after drone strikes damaged 3 of its data centers in the Middle East.
One really has to wonder, if we do have a long war ahead, how much appetite there will be for building data centers in a region that is so close to Iran and a destabilizing conflict.
And then you have the tourism industry. Dubai's airport is the world's busiest international hub, and its flagship airline, Emirates, is the world's largest international carrier. Dubai's success attracting people and businesses was bolstered by its image of safe money and safe streets.
You could leave your Birkin bag on the table, walk away, and when you return, it's still there.
In Dubai, there is 0 income tax, 0 national insurance tax.
Hey, aren't you going to take your things?
No.
Why?
It's Dubai.
A big part of Dubai's success as a financial hub is its stability first model.
That means you have the whole infrastructure of everything from finance, your physical security, your medical, everything that you might need to feel secure, to feel safe.
These countries really want to offer something a bit more like Singapore, where maybe personal freedoms are not as plentiful as in the West, But at the same time, they can argue that domestic unrest is kept at a minimum. So it's really about putting stability at the expense of everything else.
Police are extremely vigilant. They have zero tolerance for all sorts of crime. People feel extremely safe in Dubai. And that's part of the problem that we're seeing right now. I think you live in a place like Dubai, your guard is down. And then all of a sudden, you realize that you are in a region that can see this level of violence.
We've seen a barrage of attacks from Iran to U.S. allies in the Gulf region there.
With conflict ongoing in the region, what of the stability first strategy?
Goldman Sachs and Citigroup said to have told staffers in Dubai to stay away from their offices.
Wall Street banks are offering their employees to relocate temporarily.
There's always been a geopolitical risk for where the UAE is and where Dubai is. What they have managed to do so well is make their domestic market so secure that people feel really secure living there, but they cannot shift where they are in the world.
Geopolitically, they've always been able to hedge and play both sides. There are military bases in the region, but at the same time, they've always had to navigate their proximity to Iran. And there's an almost unspoken agreement that Iran would never really want to attack these hubs because there are Iranian financial interests there too.
Dubai's faced major challenges before, and in many ways, it's capitalized on them.
Most famously, around the time of the 2008 financial crisis, there was a big credit crunch and the property bubble in Dubai burst.
We saw property prices plummet by 50%, 60%, people fleeing. People had a lot of debt and they just left it. And at that time, Dubai wasn't ready to handle that kind of a downturn.
Bloomberg News has learned that Dubai's sovereign wealth fund has quit making investments and it may sell off some of its assets.
In the end, its sort of bigger brother, Abu Dhabi, had to step in and provide financial support for Dubai. It came back stronger, stronger than ever, many would say.
Then a decade later, there was the pandemic.
People stopped coming to Dubai. It really had to think about how it would survive through that time. And it did, to be honest, through being as efficient as possible in opening up its economy as soon as it could.
It also implemented a number of measures to attract global talent, including making it easier for foreigners to obtain long-term golden visas.
Dubai and the UAE have shown themselves to be resilient, even when they've been almost out for the count.
Question is whether it'll be able to do the same this time. And for now, the message from the top at least is one of reassurance.
So the leadership of Dubai, but also the leadership of the UAE, have been keen to show people that it's safe. They've been photographed walking around in malls, they've been interacting with the public. They're basically keen to tell people to go about their lives.
With Iran selecting a new leader who may be unwilling to back down in the face of the US and Israeli bombing campaign, uncertainty prevails.
The Strait of Hormuz has suffered a high level of disruption since this war began.
The Strait of Hormuz is a really important global choke point. It's basically the only waterway from the Persian Gulf into the open ocean. And it's a hugely important trade channel for energy products.
And while Dubai has diversified its economy, it can be affected by supply chains. The immediate impact of the war on other industries in the region may be harder to measure.
It's an incredible region. It's got very significant growth. Those are the types of asset classes and geographies that we want to be investing in long term.
No matter what happens between Iran and the US, there's still going to be a huge drive to do business with long-term, deep pools of capital.
It is all up in the air. People barely know what's going to happen next. But history has shown us that Dubai can adapt very well to a crisis situation.
If I'm in Dubai right now, or if I'm thinking about moving to Dubai, the question I'd be asking myself is, can I be here for the long term?
One of the reasons why Dubai works so well is that it's a haven, not just for business, but also for tax. And that might help answer the question of whether or not Dubai remains an attractive place for them.